opportunities for greater awareness. Not to restore us to perfection, but to reveal that perfection that was already there. We manufactured it. We created it. We manifested it perfectly. And when we take that responsibility, we own that, we understand that, we can also know, by knowing that God is our one, and God is the ultimate, all possibility, know that there's even greater possibilities. And then we can step into it from power, from the power of that. Think about that. All things are possible. I get to choose the ultimate, get to hold that seed, that thought, that knowingness. Yes. Let go of the old way of going out there and looking at the 3D and trying to fix it, trying to change it, trying to get into that world. If we can just let go of that for a moment, realize that it's all perfect, it all played out perfectly. Thank you for being there. We have a coach that Maria and I, she said yesterday, thank the fact it saved your life. It's there for a reason. Thank. Everything played out for a reason. Thank you. I am all that. And I am so much more. And when we let go of that consciousness of changing it, fixing it, being limited by it, and we just go into the silence. And realize who we are, who I am. I can. Why can I? Because God can. If God can, I can. All things. And we visualize that, we see it, we know it, and then we step into it and walk it. Because if we're not going to do that, we can set a plan in life, but if we're not going to walk that plan, it does no good. So we have this vision, we have this seeing, we have this knowing, and when we step into it, we walk it out. It becomes our new boundaries, becomes our newness, because we know that allness, that newness, because I don't have to go back and fix anything. When I step into this new consciousness, I am no longer in the old consciousness. Whatever was supported by the old consciousness is no longer supported. It cannot be in two consciousnesses at one time. Rich Holmes said, if you take a picture, a photo of someone's consciousness and someone's life, there will not be an iota of difference. We can step back from the changes, fix it world that says we have to do all of that to be perfect. You just step back from that and realize that we already are perfect, that whatever it is in our life that we created is perfect. It was perfectly created. We get to just simply choose something different, hold that in our consciousness and become it and know it by taking way can be shown. I'm going to quote Ernest Holmes here as I finish up. The way can be shown, but each individual must himself, herself, walk the way. We are so bound by suggestion, hypnotized by false belief, so entangled by the chaotic thinking of the world, thinking which is based upon the principle of a dual mind, that we become confused and are not ourselves. Wake up! Explanation 1. Your word is all powerful. Your consciousness is one with omnipotence. Your thought is infinite. Your destiny is eternal. Your home is everlasting heaven. Realize the truth. I am living in a perfect universe. It always was perfect and always will be perfect. There never was a mistake made. There are no mistakes being made, and there never will be. I live in the great and eternal universe of perfection, from cause to effect, from beginning to end, and the worlds are right. And I know it. Maria, would you like to add?
Thank you so much, Ron, for that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ron, because that was perfect. That was perfect.
Oh my God, it's heavenly. Thank you.
I don't know if I could even add to that perfection, but let me see if I can. Just a little bit here. And I would like to ask us, all of us, what if excuse me, what if perfection isn't something that we have to earn or that we're entitled to, but what if it's something that we allow? What if the idea of perfection is
Recording started.
Oops. What if the okay, back to my perfection. What if perfection is not something that we have to earn or that we think we're entitled to? But what if it was something that we would allow? What if the only thing we had to do was just to be here now, fully present without judgment, and let life reveal its deeper wholeness, its deeper joy to each of us? What if that was the case? When Ron said he wanted to use the word perfection today, he was the one that came up with the word about 15, 20 minutes ago. He doesn't give us much time to prepare, does he? But I looked up the Bible. I wanted to really know what perfection was in the Bible, what the Bible had to say. And I was like, oh yeah, I love that. And it's Matthew 5:48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Whoa. Be ye perfect. I just have chills when I say that. And it was like, wow, that is just says it all. And what is the biggest flaw that, the biggest hiccup that humanity has? We tend to make, like Ron was sharing, and Ron did a great job of perfecting the idea of perfection, but he was sharing that there's one mind, not duality, right? So when we go into the one mind, that's the mind of God, the creator, source, the allness, that we are already part of and as of, comes in us, through us, from us, that allness. But we have to choose that every day, every moment, being there now. Being there now. So the biggest flaw that I see, or the biggest hiccup that I see in humanity, is we have a tendency to make excuses, and we do, for ourselves when we're sharing with people. And the biggest one that I know of that I used to say is, well, I'm only human. Well, we're human. We can make mistakes. And we tend to live by that. But what we forget is our words and thoughts mirror what we are, who we are. So if I'm saying, well, I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes, I'm believing in a dual world. I'm believing in the duality. I'm not staying in the present moment, in the here and now, aligned with spirit, coming from the upper chamber, the kingdom of heaven. No, 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 no. I'm living in a world of excuses. And I have to, I'm the first to admit that that's something that I used to say. It's okay, hey, make a mistake. Because what if the mistake was actually, or the hiccup that we had was actually part of the perfection that was unfolding for us? What if it needed to be there? What if that, whatever situation or experience that we would label as not perfect, but what if it needed to be there for our evolution, our soul to expand, to know more about it, to become wiser? So we know that perfection, it's not something that we're going to control. It's whatever you uncover, whatever you let go of, because life is this wild and crazy. Oh my goodness, life is this wild and crazy unfoldment. It's like an orchestra. There's so many moving parts, so many sounds, so many tonalities, and it is unfolding in a divine rhythm in spite of whatever may appear to be chaotic or crazy, in spite of it. The thinking mind, okay, the intellect or the ego mind, however you want to call that, it may choose to panic, protest, plan things out, but the soul, that's your inner God spot of who you are, the God spot inside of you, will trust and allow it to flow. The soul lets go of the clinging. It breathes in and pauses. The soul allows and the soul surrenders, because when we surrender to what is, we are actually returning to the deeper truth of who we are, the deeper truth of who I am. So perfection has always been here. It's always been in everything. Everything is already perfect just as it is, even if the thinking mind or the intellect or the ego doesn't see it that way. When we come from that place of being present, knowing the truth of who we are, being still, perfection reveals itself. Ooh. And it has nothing to do with what you're achieving or what you're aiming for. No, it has everything to do with what you are seeing, what you're allowing, what's revealing itself to you. So we accept this beautiful life, this world of perfection, and we get to choose, as Ron was sharing. We choose and then we act. Whatever it is, we're present. We're present in the now moment, because the now moment is always perfect. If you just pause and say, be here now, you'll notice there's a stillness, there's a perfection, there's a life force breathing us. So as we contemplate that question that I asked you, what if perfection isn't something that we have to earn or isn't something we're entitled to, but it's something that we allow? And the allowance comes from being in the now, coming from that God spot within the upper chamber, the upper room, however you want to call it. That's what it's about. So we don't have to move about our day with judging things or even giving opinions. Oh, could you imagine? We were talking about letting go of things in our book club. Could you imagine what it would be like if we let go of our opinions and we just allow whatever to be? What would life be like for us? Would we feel the pleasantness of everything and see the divine order and rhythm in everything? It's a huge task. It's a huge task to let go of what we think it is. The appearance of what is being mirrored to us can be whatever we choose. Think about that. We get to choose. So if we are creating opinions about whatever is going on in the world, whoever is doing, saying, whatever it is, if we let go of that and know that truth of perfection, know the truth of perfection, that we are to therefore be perfect, even as the Father which is in heaven is perfect. Heaven is here and now. Perfection is here and now. The Father and I are one. The oneness is what we state in the first part of our prayer treatment. The very step number one. There is only, and number 1 and 2, there is only one power and one presence, one God, one infinite source, and I am one with it always. So I invite all of us today to experience this perfection as it unfolds for us. And enjoy it. Enjoy the heaven today. Okay, that's all we have to say today. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Maria. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, it was perfect. Yes, perfect. Great.
Perfect, yes.
Thank you. God, I live with amazing.